Hey everyone, Dr. Frankie Bashan here, and I'm going to cover an important topic that I think we all should be considering on a daily basis. I think that it's something that should be in the forefront of our minds as we care for ourselves and navigate this crazy world that we live in that throws us curveballs and unexpected things and challenges on a regular basis. So we want to be as strong as we possibly can be. And there are some things that we can do for ourselves around self-care. So that's what I want to really talk about and dive into today. But before I do that, I want to thank you all for joining me here every week. And for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, for those of you that are new to my channel, I hope that you benefit from all the things that I put out there, the topics. If there's something I haven't covered and you think I should cover it, please suggest that I do so down in the comments. I read them, I try to respond to them. So if you have any questions or responses, reactions to something I'm saying, sometimes I talk about issues that are uncomfortable for people, things that many people don't feel comfortable talking about. Professionals don't talk about it. And these are topics that we need to be talking about. We need to have more conversations. We need to feel more comfortable talking about sex, for example, desires, wants, needs. How do we communicate these things effectively? And how do we feel comfortable within our own skin around these topics? So, I like to talk about things that are important, that come up in my practice repeatedly, and that are on people's minds that aren't talked about enough. So if you're new and don't know much about me, I'm a clinical psychologist, board certified sex therapist, and also the CEO of a national matchmaking firm. So if you're single and you're wanting to date smarter and you're wanting to find a quality partner and you're a professional and you're serious about it and you take good care of yourself, you do your internal work, you take care of yourself externally, you are grounded, balanced, you're engaging in self-care, you're listening intently to today's talk and topic because it's important and it matters to you, and you want to meet somebody who thinks similarly around these important issues, then get into our network. Book a call with us. It's free. We can share with you about how we work and why you should absolutely consider matchmaking if you're somebody who's qualified. We only take on people who are qualified, and meaning that they're serious, that they take good care of themselves, and we feel like we could match them basically. So definitely get in there, learn more, fill out a free profile if you want. And I'm just going to jump in now and cover a topic that's I feel like it's something that we all should be thinking about on a daily basis. Self-care. So we're living through some difficult, super tumultuous times right now, and it can feel even harder to be living through them as a single person, whether it's navigating housing, health insurance. Like, speaking of health insurance, like I just got cut off from my health insurance that I pay out of pocket myself monthly because I'm self-employed, and they changed their system, so they just dropped me. Anyway, see, life throws curveballs, right? So there could be, stressors around health insurance, social scene. It can feel like everything's harder and more complicated when you don't have a partner. You're going at life on your own as a single person. There are some material challenges to being single, which is why it's so important to develop a real commitment to self-care. What does self-care actually mean outside of getting massages or ordering food delivery? I'm going to recommend for singles to really consider trying some self-care approaches, techniques, in meaningful ways to help improve their overall functioning, overall being. So get comfortable with being alone. This is so hard for so many people, and I want to really challenge you and encourage you to lean into comfort with yourself. If you're used to being in a serious relationship, especially if you were living with a partner, one of the hardest things to get used to is just the fact of being yourself most of the time. It can feel weird to be in the apartment alone at night after a breakup, and at night it's the worst, right? So much harder than in the morning for most people. Or you can feel lonely coming home after a long day of work to an empty space. It's normal for there to be an adjustment period, and living alone can have its challenges. But one of the greatest things you can do for yourself, single or not, is to learn to actively enjoy your own company and like being alone rather than enduring it when you feel like you have no other choice. Notice how you spend your time when you're by yourself. Are you treating it like time to kill, swiping mindlessly on your phone, or just letting Netflix play while you shop online? These aren't inherently bad activities, but the message you send to yourself is that time alone is something to try to pass as quickly as possible until you get to something really worthwhile, time with other people. And I can really relate to that because I'm a go, go, go person who wants to be engaged and I'm totally extroverted. And before I really practiced some of these techniques, I really had a hard time being alone on my own, being my own company. So, yeah. Anyway, what would it look like to be purposeful about your alone time? You may have heard about dating yourself or organizing outings or activities to do alone with the same level of intentionality you would bring to a date with a romantic partner. This is a great practice, but you can learn to enjoy time with yourself even outside of a date night instead of just white knuckling through the hours between the end of your workday and your bedtime. Can you think of something you'd actually enjoy doing? Can you take the time to plan and cook at a nice dinner for yourself just because you actually deserve it, even if it will mean doing a few extra dishes? Are there projects or hobbies you can take on by just by doing them yourself, even if they're something small or trivial, like watching every rom-com made the year you were born? When we're not able to enjoy our own company, we end up making choices out of desperation for relationships with others. We end up making going on bad dates or making bad choices or endlessly swiping on the apps, not because we actually want to, but because we can't tolerate a night alone. On the other hand, when we learn to feel genuinely satisfied and fulfilled by our days and nights as a single person, it shifts our perspective on dating in radical and healthy ways. We're no longer looking for just any partner, but a partner who offers something concrete that's better than our enjoyable solitude. Explore self-regulation. One of the reasons it can feel so hard to face down being single long term is the prospect of emotional aloneness, having to go through ups and downs without someone there to comfort you or calm you down. It's reasonable to feel bummed about it, right? Many people rely heavily on their romantic partners for emotional support. However, if you're feeling not just lonely, but panicky about managing your emotional highs and lows on your own, that may be a sign that it's time to dedicate this single period of your life to working on self regulation. Many of us rely heavily on co regulation with romantic partners. We help manage each other without even realizing we help manage each other's nervous systems. Emotional management, when you're close and you're having a shared experience with another person, regulates. The instinct for co regulation dates back to our childhood alone with our attachment styles, when our parents would rock us or coo us when we cried. It may look like cuddling with friends or a partner, verbal processing, or doing a comforting activity together like movie night. None of these are bad things to do. Co-regulation is really healthy and great. The only trouble is when you only know how to manage your emotions via co-regulation and have no self-regulation skills on your own, calming your emotions and getting back to baseline on your own, and you have to look to somebody else to regulate, is a problem. This can make you overly reliant on others and make you feel that you simply can't function outside of a romantic relationship. To use self regulation skills more confidently, I want you to practice noticing and naming your emotions, including noticing how they show up in your body. Does anxiety make you feel hot and antsy, while depression make you feel slow and maybe drowsy? Look into some somatic tools for regulating emotions, which I talk about on my blog, to help manage these feelings even when you're by yourself. Invest in your friendships. This is really important. Self care and self regulation are foundational to well being, but no amount of self care can totally replace community care. Humans are social creatures, and we live in a challenging, unfair world that was, in many respects, designed for straight cis men who had a full-time stay-at-home spouse to manage most aspects of their lives. It's difficult, if not impossible, to really go at it alone. No matter how self-reliant or independent you are, there are times when we all just need someone else's help. For single people, this can feel defeating. Not having a partner can feel like a verdict that there will never be anyone to pick you up from the airport, get you groceries when you're sick, go to family events with you, or help medicate your sick cat. You can choose to stick all these things out on your own, or you can choose to invest in your friendships instead. So, not just investing in yourself through self care, but also investing in community and friendships. Investing means a few things. It requires both pouring intentional time and energy into your friendships to deepen the new ones and maintain the stable ones, remembering your friends' big personal events and following up to ask how they went, taking the initiative to make social plans, offering to plan birthday parties or make dinner. It also requires actively enacting the shared life you want to live with your friends. If you want to have the kind of friendships that pick you up from the airport or from surgery or from the bar when you can't drive, you need to be offering those things to other people as well and developing the vulnerability to ask them for when you need them. It sounds hard and it can be, certainly. It's really hard for people to ask for help, right? But it's so incredibly rewarding to build a community that can provide real, tangible support regardless of your friendship status at any given time. We need that. And we need that now more than ever before. I'm finding as a psychologist, I feel like given the circumstances, the climate that we're in right now, all over the world feels so divided, so tense, so unpredictable. We need our peeps, we need our friends. And most importantly, we need ourselves. So please consider what I'm suggesting. Try it out. Let me know how it goes. Comment, update us and me. And if I see your comment and you're sharing something vulnerable about your experience, I will definitely do my best to respond. And in the meantime, I want you all to take care of yourselves. And I'm sending you big hugs, kisses, and I will see you all next week.